Okay, good morning class. At this point we're looking at the grade 10, paper 2, November 2021 from St. Susie High School. There's a tissue there. Who needs a tissue? Tumpo? Go fetch a tissue. It's free today. Right, so the first question says, the following set of data shows the individual travelling times in minutes that 12 learners took to travel from their home to school. What are you looking at? No problems. Okay, so we're looking at learners took to travel to school from their home on a particular Monday. So we're given a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Okay? So the first question says, find the modal time. So what is the mode? The number that occurs the most. So if you put these numbers in order, can someone give me the numbers in order quickly? 13, yes? 16, 17, 21, 21, 22, 24, 26, 26. Yes, thank you. Just 3 26s. Yes? 29, yes? 33, 30. Okay, did I count for all of them? No? So what is the modal time? 26. Yes, 26 is the number that occurs the most. The next question says, find the median time. So the median time is the middle time, not the one in the middle of sorted data. So how many numbers are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So there's two numbers in the middle, not so? Is that correct? So it's going to be 24 plus 26 over 2, which is 25. So that's your median. The range, what's the range? Highest value minus the lowest value. It's going to be 35 minus 13, which is 22. Okay. The next question says the mean time. So what do you do to calculate the mean? I add up all these numbers here. And what did it all add up to? 13 plus 16 plus 17 plus 21. Did you guys do the homework? So what did it add up to? Sorry? 288. Now what did you say? 288 and 288 divided by 12? Sorry? 24. Okay, then now ask you to work out the 30th percentile. So 30th percentile is 30 over 100 times the number of entries there are, or times there are, which is 12. So it's going to give you 30 divided by 100. 30 divided by 100 times 12 gives you 18, 3.6. So it's basically the fourth number, not so? So we say it's approximately the fourth number. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. So therefore 21 is going to be at the 30th percent. Do you guys understand? Okay. Draw a box and whisker diagram. What's key for the box and whisker diagram? That you need a scale. No? Need a scale. So the lowest value is 13 and the highest value is 35. 13, so I go 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Okay, that's already over, no? So it's going to be 20. What's the highest value? 35. So I can make it a bit bigger. Okay, so I'm going to go in threes. So it's 13, 16, 20. No, what am I doing? It's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, 5 was right. Did I skip the number? There's 20, 30, 40. Okay. So of course there's going to be the 5s in the middle. Okay. So the smallest value is 13. So if this is 15, 13 is approximately there. Okay. And the maximum value is 35. Definitely 35 would be here. Okay. Your median is the middle number of sorted data, which is 25, gets a stroke. Okay, quartile 1. So there are even amount of numbers here. So the one form part of the bottom set of data, while the other number form parts of the top set of the data. But importantly, if it's odd amount of numbers, you cross it out. Not so. So there's 6 numbers. So it's going to be 6 divided by 2 is 3. So it's 3 and the third and fourth number. So those 2 numbers are your quartile 1. So what do? You say 17 plus 21 divided by 2. So they give you 38 divided by 2. 2 is going to give you 19. Okay, so 19. So it's just 1 less than 20. So there's 19. And you do the same for the upper quartile. So it's 1, 2, 3. And for the third and fourth number, you add 26 and 29 together, divided by 2 gives you 27.5. So this is 25. 27 is midway. Just more than that, so it's 27.5. So there's your box. There's your whiskers. Note that I'm writing on top of the box the corresponding values. Okay? Look at question 2. Question 2, we are saying the distribution table below shows the mark of a group of 80 grade 10 English, a group of 80 grade 10 English class in the recent test. Okay, so basically it's a test that was given to 80 grade 10s. Calculate the approximate mean for the given distribution table. So to work out the approximate mean, I actually need to know the class midpoints. So you say 54 plus 60 is 54 plus 60 divided by 2 gives you 57. Okay, 61 plus 67 divided by 2 gives you 64. The next one, so it'll be 74 plus 68 divided by 2. 68 plus 74 divided by 2, 71. Okay, so in other words, I'm adding 7 all the time, not so. So the next one is going to be 78. The next one is going to be 85. The next one is going to be 92. Is that correct? So when we work out this mean, okay, simply going to be 57 times 4 plus 64 times 16 plus 71 times 38 plus 78 times 12 plus 85 times 6 plus 92 times 4. That will all be divided by 80. Or we can add this up. You will also see it will give you 80. So the numerator works out to give you what? 5,764 over 80. Let's give you an answer. 72,05. Okay, 72,05. Okay, proceed. Alright, next question. The first one of the two says, calculate in which class interval would you find the modal class. The modal class, the one that has the most. So which one has the most is 68 to 74. Can you see that? So we got the mark greater than 68 and equal to what they said? 74. Okay? All agree with that? And then say the upper quartile. Now the upper quartile is basically quartile 3, not so, which is 3 over 4 times 80. Can you see that? 3 over 4 is the third quartile, or is it going to be the 75th percentile, which is 75 over 100 anyway. If you multiply that, I get the 60. So it's basically the 60th number. Not so, the 60th number. So what I do is I go to this table here. At the end of this class, I've considered 4 people. Not so. At the end of this class, I've considered 20. Then, 58. What am I looking for? The 60th number, then? At the end of this class, I've considered 70. So in other words, from 59 to 70 lies in this category. Can you see? Which includes number 60. That means to say that the upper quartile would lie from 75 to 81. So therefore, is the mark greater than the mark greater than 75 but less than 81. Okay, you guys understand? Any confusion, people? Any confusion? No? Here's another question. Draw a histogram for the given distribution table. So if you look at the histogram here, okay, I'm going to take this off here. Okay, so on your x-axis goes your marks. Okay? Okay, so on your y-axis goes your frequency. Your frequency, the highest value here is 38. So you will go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, so it is just short. Okay? And let's just put 14 here. We're always going to try and draw it as big as possible. Not so. We start at 0, so it's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Now if you had gone with 10s, you wouldn't have been wrong. The graph will be fairly small. Okay. So we're going from 54, so we're breaking the graph. We don't need from 0 to 53. Can you see that? So say 54. 0, we start at 54. Then 61. Then 68. Then 75. Then 88. 82. then 89, and then 96, or 95. Okay. So what you do is you say, okay, in the first category, you got 4. So it's just less than 5, not so. Let's just come a little lower down. And put 4 there on top. Okay. Next one is 16, it's just over 15. It's above 15. Then 38, which is fairly high, just less than 40. Again, what you notice, I put the values on top. Okay. The next one is going to be 12. So this 10 is above 10. Then we got 6, is above 5. And then we got 4, which is just above, below 5. Then we do what we do best. Color in, and there we go. That is your histogram. Then ask you to draw a frequency polygon. And what I do is I take, I would have made an extra set here and a class here at the end as well, a dummy class. And what I do is I mark the midpoints of each class here. But the question was not asked. No? And I take my ruler and I connect those dots. And that is your frequency polygon. Okay. Question 3, sorry. I told you in question 3 that PQRS with vertices P, which is -2 and 10, Q, which is 3 and 5, R, which is 2 and -2, S, which is -3 and 3, is the midpoint of PR, The line makes an angle of theta where the x-axis as shown alongside. Line SR also passes through the origin. Okay? So we know that SR, that these lengths are equal. That is your angle theta. And it's also going through the origin. Okay? That's all the information given. So let's look at the first question. First question says, calculate the length of SQ. Calculate the length of SQ. Leave your answer insert. So how do we calculate the length by using distance formula? So SQ, the length of SQ is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay? SQ is going to be -3 squared plus 3 minus 5 squared. Okay? So that gives us the square root of -6 squared plus upper brackets -2 squared. Gives you 2 root 10. Okay, otherwise if you add the root of 40, you will lose 1 mark there because it says, okay, you wouldn't have lost anything. They didn't say simplified circle. Okay, and normally that we teach you in grade 11 how to do the cert of that, how to simplify certs. Okay, so that's going to be a root 40 or 2 root 10. Both is sufficient for the full marking. Then it says calculate the coordinates of E. But we see that E is the midpoint, not so. How do you work out the midpoint? It's x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. Okay, so that gives us -2 plus 2 over 2 and 10 plus -2 over 2. So that gives us E to be 0 and 8 over 2 is 4. So E is 0 and 4. Okay. Then the question says, determine the gradient of SR. Okay, so I'm just going to fill this information in here so that I can take this off the board. Okay, SQ. It's going to give you 2 root 10. Okay. Can take this off so that I can have space to do calculations in. Always want to keep the diagram in focus. Also in the diagram, in your answer book, these diagrams are there, not so. So you must write on the diagram in the answer book. Okay. Now some of you are scared to write there and you don't want to write there. That is actually given to you to write. Okay. So calculate the gradient of SR. So SR is this line here. Okay. So how do we work out the gradient? Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. So S is going to be negative 3 and 3, whilst R is 2 and minus 2. So it's going to be negative 2 minus 3 over 2 minus minus 3. Give you negative 1. So the gradient of this line is negative 1. Okay? Then determine the equation of SR. So the equation of a line is in the form of y is equal to mx plus c. What is your m value? The gradient is negative 1. So y is equal to negative x plus c. Now we'll substitute the point that's lying on this line. I can either go with s or r. I'm going with r, which is 2 and minus 2. Again, that's the x and the y. So negative 2 is equal to negative 2 plus negative. No, it's negative 2 plus c. So your c value is 0. We should have known it's 0 because y is going through the origin anyway. So therefore y is equal to minus x. Okay, we could have skipped that whole step there. Okay. So we are told that it goes through the origin. Okay, we didn't just assume there. Okay, next question. Now we are told that determine the size of theta. Now you see that angle theta, if this angle makes an angle, if that grade is negative 1, then the theta angle is going to be 135 degrees. Can you see that? This inclination angle is 135 degrees. But what is the theta angle then? 45. Why? Because the angles on a straight. Can you see that? There's 2 gradients you need to know. With what's the name to its gradient, if relative to the gradient. So if the gradient is 1, then that angle is 45 degrees. And if the inclination angle is 135, then the gradient is negative 1. Okay, but if you look here, that is 135. Why? Because the gradient is minus 1 here. But these are angles on a straight line. So they add up to 180. So 180 minus 135 gives you a theta angle of 45 degrees. So that is simply 45. Make that note now in your books. Theta is 45 degrees. Okay. Then the question says, show that PR and SQ bisect each other at 90 degrees. SQ and PR. Then we must show that this angle is 90 degrees. What's wrong, Michael? Okay, so it's going to be 3.6. So to show this is 90 degrees, we work out the gradient of PR and the gradient of SQ. If we manage to prove that the gradient of SR multiplied by the gradient of PR multiplied by the gradient of SQ, if that answer comes to be negative 1, then these lines are perpendicular. Okay. So we work out the gradient of PR. So it's going to be 10 minus 2 over minus 2 minus 2. That gives us 12 over negative 4, which is negative 3. The gradient of let's put it here, negative 3 then. Then the gradient of QR, QA, sorry, says it will be 5 minus 3 over 3 minus minus 3. So it will give us 2 over 6, which is a third. Can you see? So now we say since the gradient of PR times the gradient of SQ equals negative 3 times a third, which is negative 1. Since that is the case, no? Therefore, PR is perpendicular to SQ, or we can say it's 90 degrees. The same thing. Okay? Then in the next question we are asked, so now write this gradients in here, we might need it. So this gradient is negative 3, and that gradient is a third. Okay. So now we are asked in 3.7, calculate the area of triangle PSQ. PSQ. So how do you calculate the area of a triangle? Area of a triangle is half base times perpendicular height, not so? So the area of this triangle is going to be half my base, which is SQ, and the perpendicular height, which is PE. Can you see that? We have worked out the length of SQ already. Not so? The length of SQ is 2 root 10. So which length do we still need? PE. So let's work out the length of PE. Distance formula. I don't need to write down the formula again. So it's going to be minus 2 minus 0 squared plus 10 minus 4 squared. So PE, so it will be the square root of negative 2 minus 0 squared plus 10 minus 4 squared. That gives you 2 root 10. Okay? Which then gives us the area is equal to half my base, which is SQ, 2 root 10 times PE, which is 2 root 10, which is also 2 root 10. So that's simply going to give us the root of 20. Is that correct? Times 20. So there will be 20 units. Okay. Then in question 3.8 it says, what type of quadrilateral is PQRS? Give a reason for your answer. Okay, what do you notice about the diagonals? The diagonals meet at 90 degrees. Now there are 3 shapes, 3 quads in which the diagonals meet at 90 degrees. It's a kite. Can this be a kite? It could be a kite, yes. Could it be a rhombus? Yes. Could it be a square? No, so the square is out, no? So, with this information that is calculated thus far, I would say it's a kite. No? Why? Because the diagonals bisected 90 degrees and one diagonal bisect the other. Can you see? That's the least in this diagram. Can you see that? We see the diagonals are at 90 degrees, which is that thing, and the one diagonal bisect the other. So the answer, what did I write in the memo? Rhombus. Did I do any other calculations thereafter? I should have said a kite. Okay. The least it can be is a kite. What's my reasoning? There's actually not a rhombus. So I look here. You see that diagonal is bisecting that diagonal. Not so. Then if you look at SE and EQ, that midpoint of that line, SQ, is going to be minus 3 plus 3 over 2, which is 0. And now it is a rhombus. It could be a rhombus as well. But I had to do a calculation there to show it's a rhombus. But as I said, the least it can be is a kite. Okay? And what's the properties of a kite? Sorry? Diagonals? Perpendicular, yes, and what else? And one diagonal bisect the other. If I had said it was a rhombus, I first had to work out the midpoint of SQ. That's the first thing I needed to do. Then I must say it's a rhombus. Why? Because the diagonals bisect each other at 90 degrees, which is the reason I used it. Okay? You see the kite's properties, the 5 properties of a kite is also the properties of a rhombus. Did you see that? So like every parallelogram is a square, but not every square is a parallelogram. That's basically the scenario here as well. Okay. So the properties of a rhombus, not of a parallelogram, is all in a square. All 4 properties is evident in a square. But not all 4 squares not all 7 properties of a square is evident in a parallelogram. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Okay. Okay, then you did have to do question 4 as well, correct? Right? So in question 4.1, they say determine by using a calculator the value of each of the following. So what I have to do here is, it's going to be tan squared alpha, which is 316.4 minus 212.6. Put that in the calculator. It's going to be open brackets, tan 316.4 minus 212.6, close the brackets. So that first bracket I closed was an angle bracket, not so. But I opened the initial bracket there, the first one, and there I've closed it. And that is being squared. Remember that this square in fact means it's going to be tan of 316.4 minus 212.6. That answer is being squared. That's basically what it means. Okay? So that can be written as, whether it's equivalent to 16.2 decimal places. So it's 5, 8, 16.5 as whatever. Okay, that's a ratio, no? So there's no unity. Alright, let's look at 4.2. 4.1.2. So in 4.1.2 they're looking at cos of 2 alpha, which is 316.4. Now many a times you see that the learners punch it straight into the calculator line, which is wrong. That together must be, the 2 must be multiplied with the angle before the cos is taken, in other words. Okay, so that would be cos of 2 times, or 2 open brackets 316.4, close brackets gives an answer 0,05. Okay, the next one is going to be sine beta, which is 212.6 over 2, minus the square root of 5 and 6 over 13, cos alpha, which is 316.4, minus 1. And that's all under the root, no? So again, this here I must make sure that this is in a bracket. So that is going to be sine fraction 212.6 over 2, close that bracket, minus the square root of, that's a mixed fraction. How do I activate the mixed fraction? You press shift at the fraction button, okay, which is 5 and 6 over 13, cos 316.4, we close the bracket, minus 1. You negative 0,76. Negative 0,76. Okay. Cosec beta but we say that beta is 212.6. So cosec is what? 1 over sine. So it's 2 over sine 212.6. You all okay with that? So that would be 2 over sine 212.6. Negative 3.71. Negative 3,7. Okay. 4.2 says use a calculator, solve for x in less than 90. What does that mean? Your angle will be in the first quadrant. Okay, from 0 to 90 degrees. Sine of x equal to 0,5. How do I get x on its own? Divide by sine. Arc sine. So arc sine of 0,5, which gives you 30 degrees. Not so? We've got the next question. So what we're going to do here? What needs to be done first? Can I go straight into arc sine here? No. What do I do first? Divide by 4x. And then divide by 4 first. That cancels. So sine x plus 20 equals 0, is 3.953 divided by 4. gives you 3935 over 4000 or 0,98825. Okay. Now can I take arc sine or must I take a 20 degrees over first? Arc sine first. Okay, so it's going to be x plus 20 degrees equals arc sine of 0,98825. Okay. So what do we have? Arc sine. And I use my answer button. Okay. 81,21. So we take it 20 degrees over, so x is equal to 81,21 minus 20, which is 61,21 degrees. Okay. Any confusion there? No? Look at the next one. We've got tan of 2x is equal to sine 41.3 plus sine 153,6. So as you can see, we need to sort out our right hand side first. This can be worked out using a calculator, not so. So it's going to be tan 2x equals. Okay. On our calculators we put sine 41.3 close the bracket plus sine 153.6 gives us 1.104, and of course the number carries on. Not so? So what do I do now? Now we can say arctan. So we say reference 2x is equal to arctan of 1,104, and the number carries on. Okay? You guys don't know what the difference is? So we say arctan of that angle 47,85. That is 2x. Now what do I do? Divide by 2, both sides. X is equal to 23,92. 23,92 degrees. Okay? Any confusion there? No? Question 4.3. We are told find the value of y without using a calculator. Showing all working. Use a suitable special angle diagram to solve the given equation. So with this, you're supposed to have drawn the special angles. So it's going to be 30, 60, 1, 2, root 3. You've got a 45 degree angle, which makes this an isosceles triangle. 1, 1, root 2. This one here is 90. 0, 1, 1, 0. This is not a triangle, but it works for what we're looking at. Okay. So, sine of 60. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So it's going to be y times root 3 over 2 equals sine of cos of 60 and cos of 40. There's not a special angle, not so. So I leave it as cos of 40. Now cosec is 1 over sec. Sorry, 1 over cos. So it's 1 over cos of 40. Cos of 30, this is my 30 degrees. Cos is adjacent of hypotenuse, which is the root 3 over 2. This is divided by tan 45. Tan is 1 over 1. Cos of 0, cos is adjacent of hypotenuse, is 1 over 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this up a bit. That cancels. And 1 over 1, and 1 times 1 is 1 in your denominator, which is over 1, which can just fall away. So that is root 3 over 2y is equal to root 3 over 2. Okay? How do we get y on its own? I divide by root 3 over 2 both sides. Okay? That cancel. So y is equal to root 3 over 2 multiplied by its reciprocal, which is 2 over root 3. Or we could have said that root 3 over 2 divided by root 3 over 2 is 1. Not so. We have gone straight into 1. So therefore y is equal to. So that would have just cancelled. And it's not 0, no? It's 1. Alright. Did I ask you to do the next question as well, correct? Yes, question 5. So in question 5, it says, without using a calculator, determine m. So what is m? M is your hypotenuse. So how do you calculate it? Using Pythagoras. So m squared is equal to 2 squared plus 3 squared, which gives you 4 plus 9 is 13. So m is the square root of 13. Okay. Sine of theta. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So it's 2 over root 13. Cos is your adjacent over hypotenuse. So it's going to be 3 over root 13. Okay. 5.2, question 5.2.